on. Give me a second.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I thought we're live.
Okay. Are we live now?
We are live.
Okay.
Why is it still doing a countdown, though?
Maybe it's 30 seconds.
A 30-second countdown. Okay.
Okay. All right. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to K the PA. I'm Kay, and we have
Gina here. Hola.
Okay, so we had some technical issues, but we figured it out. So hopefully you guys can see us really well. Let me see.
It's so hard for me to pay attention. I look down here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, Denise Rose Cosmetics. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what she does for a living. And what is that, Gina?
I'm a medical technologist, med tech, clinical laboratory scientist, if you want to get fancy, but we go by med tech.
And you guys have seen her videos, over 20,000 views. So you guys really loved all her videos every time she's come on here. So I always like to have her. That's why I always tell you guys to make sure that you comment so that she can answer your questions in future videos. Okay. So today we're going to talk about her experiences during C-19 and any questions that you guys have for her. All right. So hopefully, let me see. There was like more people in here earlier, but then I had to end that other live. So
I don't know.
Do you want to wait a little bit?
Okay, we can wait a little bit.
Okay, let me see. Let me just click on this.
Why is there an ad? You must be getting paid.
No, but
Wow, these ads,
commercials.
man, I'm telling you, these ads keep coming up on here.
And then it's like showing a countdown. I don't know why it's doing that, but hopefully you guys can see. Lord. See, that's why I need to go live more often. Then I'll get used to this.
I mean, practice makes perfect. Not that this is practice, but repetition.
You're right. You're right. Let's see.
Looking.
Hopefully the sound is a lot better today. As you guys can see, I'm using a microphone this time because last night was horrendous. So hopefully the sound quality is way better. Let me see the angle. Okay. All right.
Can someone comment, Denise Rose, are we on live still? I don't see it. Hello?
It's only one person. Earlier was more people. Let's see. Okay, so
what are we doing right now?
All right, so we're just gonna continue this live, and whoever don't see the beginning, you can watch it later. So we're gonna talk about her experiences during C-19, and we'll get this right next time. All right, so I have a mini presentation. Let's see. Let me share my screen.
Beautiful presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see there's more people coming in. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's see. I have too many tabs. I have like a million tabs open at all times. Purple. Okay. All right, here it is.
So they're able to see this presentation.
Mm-hmm.
How cool.
So they can see us still. So don't pick your nose or anything crazy.
No. I'm aware.
Okay. All right. So we're going to have a Q&A session for medical lab techs. And also, Gina's going to be talking about her C-19 experience. And make sure you follow her on Instagram at JujuRoro17. You can follow me on Instagram, but I'm not on there a lot, okay? I'm kind of like on an Instagram break. So you could definitely request me on there, and I'll just go add everybody later on. But definitely like me on Facebook, okay? I'm trying to, I guess, like go on Facebook more and add more good stuff on there. So definitely like me on Facebook. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the pay, because everybody's always asking, how much do you get paid?
Everyone wants to know. Well, let me tell you guys, I am a rich woman. No. The pay, it varies by state. The pay, I would say, depending on your state, the pay is kind of equivalent to what nurses would make in your state. So I live in the state of Florida, and I would say, because, well, the range is really big, but in the state of Florida, entry level, I would say about $20 an hour. And if you've been doing it a long time with a lot of experience, I would say you can get up to $30 to $35.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not bad.
That's like how much some nurses get paid.
I told you. Yeah. We get paid like nurses.
That's
and
good.
The job, to me, I'm sorry. To me, it's easier.
It's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But only thing is, nurses can kind of potentially make more, and there's more things that they can do. But med tech isn't a bad career as far as pay. You would be able to afford a median income lifestyle. I mean, you can't buy like, a mansion or anything crazy, but middle class American income, yeah.
Well, I mean, you could if you like saved for a couple of years.
You could. It depends on how you spend your money, but to me, it's middle class.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think the median pay is? Like on average, how much do like the average med tech get paid?
It's hard to say, because like in Florida, we get paid so bad from what I've heard compared to other states. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Florida doesn't pay. But I would say on average, about $25 an hour
good.
In Florida.
That's really
but
good.
Like if you live in a state like New York, California, what are their high paying states? Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, those states, yeah, you definitely would probably earn more.
Okay, perfect. So I know like a lot of people have been commenting how much you get paid. If
you want to know specifically how much I am getting paid?
No, you don't have to tell all your business. But
yeah, sometimes I gotta keep it secret. Something.
But I'm saying I get comments like that all the time. So I'm like, I just gotta ask you this while you're here.
Yeah, it depends, because like in one hospital here in Florida, like med techs were getting paid entry level day shift. They were getting paid like $18 to $19 an hour. To me, that's kind of low. And then
some techs get paid that much.
Some techs, and then you could go to another place in the state of Florida, different company, entry level, and get paid $25 an hour.
So really, it's all about the company you work for. So don't get comfortable. The company
does kind of play a factor, but only one specific company. I'm not gonna say that company's name, but to me, they're kind of low.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess like you just can't get comfortable in one job. Like if you're not getting paid that much, you just gotta, get uncomfortable and move around.
Well, it depends. Some people like the security and if you don't like what you're getting paid, you can definitely look at other options.
Okay.
Outside of hospital settings too.
Okay, so next thing, COVID testing. So this is like a big topic. And let's just say C-19 because they filter this. So C-19 testing. So do you do the testing for that?
Med techs do the test, but me specifically, no.
Okay.
Because I'm working in blood bank, and
So you specialize, right?
Everyone kind of does
Uh-huh.
in bigger hospitals. So yeah, for specifically every day I come into work and I'm in blood bank. But some hospitals you rotate. So in some they call them generalists. You do everything.
Okay.
But I specifically don't do the COVID, the C-19 testing. Excuse me.
So would Diana do that?
No, because we are in blood bank.
No, but I thought she was a generalist.
She has a generalist license, but when you get hired, she was placed in blood bank. But if you're like even if you're a generalist, you can still specialize. Like you can go into micro and just do micro.
Okay.
Generalist means you're licensed to do everything, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you do.
So you're like a floater, but if you want to work on one floor, you can like choose to do that. Basically.
You don't ever float if it's a large hospital.
Okay.
If they hire you as a micro tech, you're a micro unless you ask for a transfer or if you ask your boss for permission to do something else. But other hospitals, you do rotate. It's both, actually.
Okay.
So you get a mix. Some people, they stay in one department, and then other people, depending on the hospital setting, you go from like different stations.
Okay. All right. So the C-19 test, like how do you guys test for that in the lab?
There's we do PCR testing for the most part, but there's two different types of testing that I know of. There's the antibody testing and the PCR testing. So the antibody testing, that's probably like the quickest one. But some people would say it's less accurate because it just kind of tests for antibodies against that. And then the PCR, I feel like it's more like to make it simple, it's more like a DNA testing. So they're looking for the virus itself. Like,
I mean, I remember learning about PCR and genetics. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're applying what you learned in a sense. Did you take genetics?
Yeah, I took I took genetics, but this sounds a lot more complicated than it sounds. Let me tell you. Okay, you know all the background stuff, right? So you know what's going on with PCR testing. You know how it works, but literally you just put it on a machine, set the timer, and it will beep. And when you beep, and when it beeps, you read the results, positive or negative. It doesn't really, you don't really have to do any like pipetting. No.
It's kind of like what someone asked last night on the other live I had. They were asking if you need to be good at math to be in like a medical profession. I was like,
heck no. If you can do basic math, you are good. The only time, and this is rare, and I don't even think they do this, sometimes they do dilutions and titrations, but it's so simple and they break it down for you. No one's going to get mad if you don't understand it. But basic math.
Yeah, I feel like you need to be good while you're in school. Like, and it's not that you need to be great at it, but you just need to pass those classes.
Yeah, like
they use machines for everything.
Yes, except for blood bank.
Yeah. Okay, you're the machine.
I'm the machine. But I mean, even with blood bank, there's a lot of instruments too. But it's the one that uses the fewest or less amount of machines, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like they trust the computer more because it's like we have like human error. We can easily mess up on calculations, so it's easier to just put a calculation in the computer. Yeah,
that's true.
So,
but with blood banking, they're really scared if there's an error. So even if you do have like an instrument that will do the ABO, you have to do two different instruments, or you have to do one instrument and one manual.
Okay. So you can't completely depend on the machine.
Not for ABO testing with someone who doesn't have history.
Okay.
If it's your first time at the hospital and we have no history. But now if you have history, then yeah.
Okay. So how long does testing take for, the one that they put in your nose and the rapid, like, do you know like the time that it takes to complete those?
I would say the turnaround time is an hour.
For which one? The rapid?
The rapid is rapid, like 20 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay.
Probably less. Like you get it. It's like a pregnancy test. Like 2 minutes. But the reason why there's such a delay in testing is because of the volume. So we just can't keep up with it, and then we have to send it out to another place to get tested because there's too many to be like. There's so many COVID tests in the hospitals. The hospitals are overwhelmed. So they do it in-house if it's I don't want to say if it's important. If it's like an emergency, if you come from the ED, or if like maybe surgery is scheduled the next day. But other than that, they would they prefer to send it to an outside lab. And then it varies. Turnaround time, I would say probably 4 to 5 days, depending. But it only takes like an hour to actually from instrument to results.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So sanitary procedures, like, so as a med tech, like you work by yourself because that's just how y'all do it when you work. But
no, it depends. Everything depends. Okay. I'm going to talk as far as, because they want to know what's going on when you do work with people. I'm going to talk from the perspective of when I am working with others.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you want our sanitary procedures?
Yeah. Like, do you have to sit like 6 feet away from the next person? Like, how?
Do we have? Okay. Social distancing. It's weird. They don't tell us to social distance when we're actually in the lab, but in the break rooms, it's mandatory. Like, there's like a 4-person capacity. So like social distancing is practiced in the break room. But I don't know if it's because we're wearing masks, but when we're in the lab, I mean, it's just kind of weird for you to tell your coworker 6 feet. 6 feet, you got too close. But no, I think people are just kind of, aware. But like if you're working and I have to pick up something next to the bench or whatever, I'm not waiting, and there's no, how they have the tapes and stuff. No.
Yeah.
You
I mean, it is kind of weird. I
I
think all this C-19 thing is weird for everybody.
Yeah, but it's mandatory in the break room. Don't sit right next. Don't have a group of people in the break room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know. But in the lab, in the workspace, no, because I've seen benches like maybe, like one person would be one end, and it's not 6 feet apart.
Yeah. I mean, I think we try our best.
We try.
But, it's not perfect.
We try, and then we have to clean everything. I remember when it first happened, they were like disinfecting crazy, just like wiping everything down, wiping the doorknobs. And I mean, you do what you can.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. So how is your experience different now than before?
The experience, like working.
Yeah.
It hasn't really changed as far as like what we do at work. It's the same thing. It's just I feel it's just like, okay, you have to wear your mask, and sometimes like I know you have to be safe, but it looks weird when we're walking around with like face shield, goggles, masks, and all of that. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
But okay, so you have convalescent testing. Okay, convalescent plasma. We don't necessarily test for it. So what we do now, and this has been FDA approved. I don't know if people know this, but blood is considered like a drug, therapeutic drug. So if you receive like red blood cells, platelets, plasma, that's regulated by the FDA. So the FDA has now approved of convalescent plasma. And basically what that is, it's people who has been infected and recovered from the C-19, and their blood now has the antibodies. So they'll donate the blood. And then if we have a patient who has C-19 as a therapeutic treatment, the doctor might order, convalescent plasma to transfuse them. And how that's supposed to work is, or the idea or the theory behind it is, because if you've already have it, you have the antibodies.
Yeah.
So when that person is now transfused your plasma, they now receive the antibodies that were in your plasma, and it fights off the virus.
That's really cool.
I think it's
That's
cool.
super cool.
It's pretty cool. I don't know if it works, but it's pretty cool.
Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so what is the experience of like your coworkers, phlebotomists, like the patient interaction? Like,
oh, that one's funny. Okay, so I don't deal with patients at all. Like maybe 5% of the time I might have to do something for a patient, but it's probably like just verifying, like patient identification. I'm not really in direct contact with them 95% of the time when I'm working. But like with maybe like the nurses or like the phlebotomists, and everyone has a different opinion and everyone reacts differently to everything that's going on. But some people go overboard and like they just freak out. Like if, say for instance, maybe your mask is hanging low, or maybe you're about to put on your mask before they walk in, they just freak out like, oh my gosh, you don't have on your mask. And it's like, okay, it's not that we're trying to offend or disrespect anybody, but you have on your mask. We have to wear it 8 hours. Like you cannot walk through the hospital without your mask. So imagine having this for an 8 to 12 hour shift.
Yep.
It sometimes like you're trying to sneak a breather and someone sees you and it's over. It's over. It's like I'm trying to breathe. But that's the only craziness. And it's like I get that we do have to, take precaution. But if I can't breathe, come on. Where can I go? You know what? You go to the restroom.
Yeah, I don't think patients, like sometimes they don't have a lot of compassion because they think it's all about them. They forget that there are others, and I don't think they're as appreciative as they should be to healthcare workers sometimes.
Well, I don't really deal with them too much, so I don't know. But yeah, it's hard because it's like you don't want to be, especially if someone catches it. Oh, I saw her without her mask.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be that person, but it's like, gosh, balance. If you have on your mask, don't be so offended if mine is like hanging off my nose. I'm gonna put it back, I promise.
I guess that's perks of being a med tech. You don't have that much patient contact.
Big time.
Okay, so we're almost done. So are you doing like more testing? Like what are the top testing that you're doing at the moment?
It hasn't changed. All the testing is the same. It's just so we're doing the same testing. Nothing has changed. Probably more C-19 testing. So that volume has increased 100 times compared to what it used to be. And then I would say, because like sometimes like there's so much C-19 testing, maybe like other things fall a little behind because you're trying to, but especially when it first came out, it was like, it was like, when I say stat, like prioritized, like,
that's like
urgent.
Priority,
yeah. So you have to get it out in a certain amount of time. And it was a lot of work because it's just like, you've increased this test 100 folds, but you didn't increase our instruments 100 times. So it was hard, but nothing's really changed. Everything's the same. It's just, safety measures.
Okay. So that's it for the presentation.
Oh, and it was exactly 30 minutes.
It is.
Yes.
So if you guys have any comments, you can leave it in the comment thing below. But I'm going to read some comments that they left for Gina, okay, on YouTube. Okay, so somebody asked, university in South Africa that have MLT course. I guess they're asking, are there any?
I have no idea, but I'm sure there are universities somewhere in the continent of Africa that has MLT because I had a coworker who is from Ghana. So yes, there is, but I can't give you any details or specifics or anything like that.
Okay.
But of course they have. The med techs are everywhere. You have to. If there's a hospital, 90, if it's not a third world country, developing country, 90% chance there's med techs.
Okay. So let's see. There was another comment. So one person said, "Hey Juju, do you think hold on. Okay, do you think a CLA program for 6 weeks is enough to get you working in the lab? I'm really interested in taking this class and would love to know your thoughts." So that's lab assistant.
Okay, so to become a lab assistant here in the state of Florida, the last time I checked, because I used to be a lab assistant, they only require a high school diploma. Lab assistant is an entry-level position, so you don't need a degree or any license to work there, but it does help, like if you have like a phlebotomy background or you've went to school for like lab assistant. It just gives you more, like, I don't know, but it's not required. So like I feel like they would prefer that because you've learned, they know that you've learned specific things that has to do with the lab. So you would be preferred over someone who's just applying straight from high school with no experience at all.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But it's not
I always
needed,
thought you needed like some kind of certification to do lab tech, but
for lab tech, yes, but not for lab assistant.
Oh, lab assistant, that's what I meant. Okay.
Not for lab assistant, no.
Okay.
Because they don't do testing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, as long as you're not doing testing, no.
Okay. Do you know how much they make?
Lab assistant, I'll give you that. When I was a lab assistant, boy, oh boy. And I feel like as a lab assistant, honestly, I worked harder than I do as a tech. I was getting paid like $13 an hour, like entry level.
That's not bad. Like, it's not terrible.
What?
It's not terrible.
It was a whole
I mean, I had like EMTs make like 10 something, like in some places.
Really?
Yeah, I made 10 something.
You know what? I did hear that they gave me a little boost because I had a college degree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's more
less.
I think it might be 12. Well, that was a while ago. So now I think it's 13.
Yeah.
And
so,
then
I mean,
some people were making more. If you have experience,
yeah.
Some people, I know some people were getting paid like 17, 18 as lab assistants. So, I mean, you could survive off of it. Don't get me wrong. But for the amount of work, oh my gosh, it was so much work. And it's so underappreciated. And I appreciate lab assistants. But it's like if there was any kind of mistake because you're the lab assistant, it falls on you.
Wow.
Unless it's testing, but you know, it's just so easy to say, oh, the lab assistant didn't process it fast enough. Or the lab assistant did this. Oh.
You blame the person that's like,
yeah. So when you're at the entry level,
yeah.
you always get more blame than, say, for instance, the pathologist, the doctor, or whatever. Like if you're a doctor, nurses get in trouble. If the nurses get the
if it's a nurse, is it like a tech?
The tech gets in trouble.
Yeah.
So
okay, so if you guys have any questions, I'll let you type those questions in now because we're about to end the live.
Any questions? I don't know why I'm singing. I forget this is live. Like I can't even edit this out.
This is like a different experience, but it's a lot easier for me
to do lives.
Yeah. I just have to like be more consistent with it. Lives
are like, I feel like I like them, but I hate them too.
Why?
Because it can't be edited. Editing makes things so clean and beautiful.
It does. It does.
If you make a mistake.
Yeah. It does. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, it just makes it easier for me because I don't have to go edit this video afterwards.
That's true.
Okay, so we'll end at 38.
We're gonna wait 2 minutes.
So if you have any, I don't know if I think it kicked some people out earlier.
It was doing some funny stuff.
Yeah, there was more people earlier. I don't know what happened. When I ended the first one, I think it just messed everything up.
And why does it keep doing the countdown every time?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'll get better at this eventually. I'm pretty sure it was my fault.
She's so amazing, guys. Kay the
Whatever.
is trying something I could never do. But yeah.
All right. So is there any upward mobility? Oh, let me show everybody.
Upward. I remember I got this question.
Mm-hmm.
Probably when we did a Q&A. I said no. There is upward mobility. I just choose not to move upward, so I forgot some of the upward mobility. So
you said a manager, right?
You can become a manager. Okay. You can be a supervisor. You can become a director. Mm-hmm. You can med techs. It's a good transition into LIS. Mm-hmm. So LIS kind of does like the computer stuff, kind of sort of like, because everything's on the computer, so like troubleshooting that. Okay. And I forgot the name of this, but some people get specialties. Like I know about this position because I remember when I was a lab assistant, I ran into this lady who did this, but she was a cytologist or something like that. She specialized in like studying cells. Mm-hmm. And when you do stuff like that, like if you work at a cancer hospital or something like that, you get paid way more.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. So you're not interested at all in doing nothing like that?
No. But I am doing other things. It's not like I'm just complacent. It's just I like my job as a med tech, but I'm not interested in actually moving upward in that
Well, direction. You're doing other things.
Yeah, I'm moving like more outwards.
Yeah.
Out of the field. But I mean, it's a cool job. Like
and it's not hard. It's not stressful.
No, not at all. So
okay, so Ax said, which is better, night shift or day shift? You already know what I think.
I agree with her. Night shift, second shift, night shift is the best shift.
It is. Even as a tech or anything else, it's the best shift.
Yeah. First shift is convenient because like you get off, like I feel like if you're a mom or you have kids, it's a good shift because like you start when your kids go to school and you're out by the time the kids are out from school, and it gives you that balance.
Yeah.
But I just prefer working second or third shift just because I'm not an early bird.
Yeah.
And it's
more chill.
It's more chill, and the volume is less too. Like day shift is a lot busier. Like it's but sometimes second shift and third shift get busy, but it's just different. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
Okay, so I don't see any more comments. So we're gonna go ahead and end the live. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up. Because I saw more people before, and then now like I'm not seeing as many.
They can watch it after, right?
Yeah, they can watch it after. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to Gina. I mean, you can leave the comments on the YouTube video, and then I'll see it. Gina will see it later, and hopefully she'll do another live. And I know this was last minute. I thought of this like at the last minute, so I didn't expect a lot of people. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Thank you, Gina, as always, for joining the live and coming on my channel.
Well, thank you for having me, and you guys, thank you for the questions. The support.
They love your video.
Yeah, sometimes people DM me and I'm like, oh, little old me. Okay, no problem. But thank you. It's always a pleasure. Stay motivated, and I hope this helps someone.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See you guys on the next live. Bye.